So this is a set against blue-white, and I chose this match specifically because I got a lot of "How do you win?" And I think this will show pretty clearly how the deck actually wins the game. So let's go. So game one, this is a really slow hand, but Cryptic is a really powerful card, so I'm okay keeping. It also has perfect mana, and he plays Colonnade, so I am super happy at this point. Colonnade is your dream matchup, because Teferi costs 5, and it actually costs 5 points. So we draw Wilderness, we don't want to commit it, there's no reason to commit this. I'd really like to play Wilderness with backup. It's also important to note that they have a bunch of removal in the pre-board game. We don't care about removal. So we're gonna Cryptic him for value to keep Snap off and to incentivize him to jam Teferi or some other nonsense card against us. So we untap, we play a land, we play this Reclamation around Logic Knot, back up, we go to end step, we go to Spiral here because we want to put this land into play before the trigger resolves. He throws the Logic Knot at us. He's probably thinking this Logic Knot is not going to get better with the Reclamation in play, and he's probably right. So we untap, and then we go to Cryptic the Teferi. And then he plays Teferi. We play Remand. We draw another Remand, which is great, because we're trading 5 mana for 2. And we tarp it. We attack. He does have the path, which is fine. You know, the path we're just poking for damage, and if he does, it doesn't really matter. He's now tapped out, which is also nice, just because. So we Nexus, we untap, we draw Hyro. We cast Hyro, we cast Opt, we have a Snap, we can snap back the Hyro. And we draw Reclamation. So look at all of our interaction. Cast Timely, that's not a card that matters, so that's fine. We cast Reclamation, we untap. We have a billion D mana. He goes to click us. We play Cryptic. And once again, we have a billion D mana. So we're gonna put all our mana. And we're just gonna Blue Sun myself for a small amount to get ahead, and then leave all of our mana up. Gross Furrow and some lands. Get ahead, and pass to him. He plays as Kanta, which, as you can see, doesn't do anything on this board. We play our Reclamation number 3. We don't care. We go to end step. And here's the cool trick with Cryptic Command that I was talking about in the deck tech, is you'll see there's 2 Cryptics in my graveyard, there's 3 Cryptics in my graveyard, and I have a billion D mana and a Cryptic in hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to float all of my mana here, and then I'm going to bounce draw the Snapcaster repeatedly. And if he tries to interact with that, I have a Remand and a Logic Knot and a second Snapcaster. So you can see he's pretty much buried at this point, but I haven't found the kill. So what this is going to do, it's going to let me draw like more cards into more cards into more cards, and eventually if there's a Teachings or a Blue Sun or a Nexus, the advantage is going to be way too much. So we're just going to float a million mana, and we're going to ask him if he wants to interact with us. He's going to try to do that, but we have 28 mana floating. We Remand the path, because why not? He tries to find some other form of interaction, and we just go off on him with Cryptic. And enter the Cryptic draw mode. And we have Teachings, and he scoops to Teachings, which is great. I love when people scoop. Thank you, people, for scooping. Game 2 showcases the only way you can lose the blue-white matchup, and that is if you draw no land. So I have 3 land and a Spiral, which means I am happy with this hand. There are 3 cantrips in this hand, which means that I my land drops, be okay. So he's gonna field us. That's fine. We're just gonna get island. He dispels. That's fine. We gotta field a rune. He plays a field a rune. That's fine. We're gonna field him. He's gonna float mana. He's gonna use it as an opportunity to field us. He's gonna float mana. We're gonna Growth Spiral, and he's gonna snap Dispel, and we're gonna fall behind. So basically, he's committed something that affects our life total onto the board that we have to answer at some point. There's not really a good way to answer because it's our own Snapcaster, and he's not casting spell for me time, not hitting my land drops. This is where Opt is a very important card to have in the deck because it helps prevent game states. So we just play the Snapcaster to defend our life total, and we draw the awkward only land in our deck that doesn't let us cryptic, and you'll see the importance of the cryptic lands here. End step teachings. We get Hyro. Maybe we should have got Dispel in hindsight. It's the best card in the matchup. But he's going to cryptic our land, and we're going to remand it. Try to draw more land. This lets us have a spiral. So EOT, spiral, draw Wilderness Wreck. Go to end step. He's going to cryptic our land again. We're going to snap. Go for the snap remand, I think. Discard. Remand. The people are like, why did you leave in Devour Flesh? I have been playing this deck online, and there are some blue-white players on Sphinx of this final word, which is an unreasonable magic card to kill if you don't have Devour Flesh. So that is the card that I leave in post-board to kill Click most of the time. That and Abrupt Decay. So he's got a Teferi, and he's got position on us. We're going to try to jam this Reclamation. It sticks, which I am surprised at. And we're going to throw this trophy at this Teferi. He's going to snare us, and that means he can Teferi tuck our Wilderness and get ahead of us. Maybe we can win that game, but it's very, very hard from there. Very, very hard, and I want to conserve my clock, so I just concede. So game 3 is, I think, we're going to see the answer to the how do you win question that I get a lot. So we keep this hand, which is our combo cards, basically, and none of our control cards, which is fine. We have land drops, which is great, so we're never going to crack these fetch lands because we're just hoping for more lands, and we're just gonna wait forever. Land. So generally it's pretty hard for us to lose the land war. We have 25 land main, and we also have 13 cantrips and cryptic command and snap. So hitting our land drops is generally pretty good. So we're just gonna keep playing lands. He's gonna cryptic our land. I'm not gonna fight it at this point. I don't really feel like that's a fight worth having. We draw teachings, which I think is pretty good. And then he's gonna go for a snap, and I'm going to go for a teachings for remand here, because I just want to get ahead. So I take a basic out of my deck. Only one basic. I think it might have been a mistake. I don't want to. My life total's a little low, so I don't want to shock myself unnecessarily. But I already have a lot of basics, and he has Field of Ruins in his deck, so I don't want to remove all the basic lands from my deck. So He taps for Jace, and I think I'm in a pretty good spot here. Obviously, he could have a Dispel or a Leak, but this gets around Leak, first of all. I haven't seen a Leak from him in the 3 games that we've played. And second, with me drawing that Dispel, I can just jam on him. So I'm going to jam the Nexus. He's going to Dispel. I'm going to Dispel back. I'm going to untap and take my extra turn. And I have this Teachings in my graveyard. So I also have this Obstructionist, which is a great draw because my mana lines up really well this turn. So I'm going to Teachings for Nexus. I'm going to go to end step. I'm going to play Nexus. I'm going to flash in this bird. And on my extra turn, I'm going to hit this Jace. So I'm going to untap my lands. I'm going to Blue Sun him. I'm going to Blue Sun myself for 6. 7. And we're going to discard our fetch lands because we're pretty much out of basic lands. So he pathless and he has double Field of Ruin. So he starts going after my lands, which I think is okay. I don't have more basics in the deck. And it's likely at some point that people will tab and look at my list now that this is a known quantity. So it's kind of a little annoying that people can just tab and look at my Teachings bullets or my basic land count for Field of Ruin or Ghost Quarter or something. But so I have 4 Cryptic Commands on him, and he has 3 cards in hand. So I'm just going to bounce the land. I'm going to draw Nexus. We're going to Hyro. We're going to go to end step. We're going to cast Nexus. We're going to cast Teachings. We're going to get Nexus. We're going to cast Opt. We're going to cast Nexus. We're going to untap. We're going to shock ourselves because our life total doesn't matter, and maybe having the more mana will... Maybe I did the math here, but maybe not. I never know with this deck. It doesn't matter at this point. So we go get Nexus, we snap in an Opt. Looks like I did the math to shock myself. We hit him for 2. And we're just gonna keep taking a bunch of turns on him. So tap all of our lands. Take an extra turn. Cast Teachings. Get Nexus of Fate. Store an extra turn up. So we have a turn floating. And we're gonna Teachings for Blue Sun. Haven't decided what's gonna be faster to kill him yet. So we're still planking him with the Snappy. So we have a turn window here to Blue Sun ourselves for as much as we can. And what that's going to do is let us find the other 2 Reclamations. And that's going to set up the Blue Sun kill. So I Blue Sun myself for 13. Check if I drew both Reclamations on the Nexus. I drew both Reclamations to the Nexus. Untap, draw the Blue Sun. If I didn't draw the Blue Sun, I have a bunch of cantrips in my hand to get through the rest of the cards in my deck. So it wouldn't have mattered. But it would take a little bit longer. So what you'll see is I just take an extra turn here, and then on my extra turn I go to end step, and I float all of my mana, and my exact land count and the exact time when I go off is generally pretty consistent around this point. And you'll notice I can Blue Sun him for almost exactly what I need. So that is the importance of the land count in this deck. Why there's only 7 fetches and not 8 is because you just want raw lands in the late game. And the exact reason for triple Reclamation. Theoretically, you could take infinite turns and just do a bunch of cantrips and throw a bunch of mini Blue Suns at them that they can't interact with. But I can't imagine how long that would actually take to click if you cut a Reclamation. That might be something worth doing in person, but just having triple Reclamation just makes this a pretty simple process compared to the literal nightmare it would be to loop 1 Nexus, 1 Blue Sun, and 4 Ops in your deck or something like that, and just throw Blue Suns for 10 out every turn. So, as you can see, we Blue Sun for all of the mana for 45. And he is dead. And our clock is really low. So that's how that matchup goes.